What's happening, guys? Welcome to another video of Ride with Raj. Yes, this is the video which you guys were waiting for a long time. I'm sorry about the delay because there are a lot of other things, but I still vlogged in between, getting my grease monkey all greased up. And this video is focused on how to ride to Ladakh or Ladakh preparations or whatever you want to call it for Ladakh. First of all, before I start this video, I want to let you guys know that I am not an expert Ladakh rider or something like that, because I've just been like twice, you can say twice, to the Himalayas. So I am not very well experienced, but it's just that I'll share my experience with you guys so that this could be helpful for you if you are planning a Ladakh trip. So now let's begin with all the questions which I got on my channel and I could not answer them in the comment section. What I'm doing is I'm going to answer it with a video. That's what I promised. Okay. Everyone was very eager about the Royal Enfield Odyssey. They were more curious to know that how the Odyssey happens, how much do you have to pay, how do you enroll yourself. It is very simple. There is a website, we all know that it's www.royalenfield.com, where all these trips and these Odysseys are announced. You have to register yourself and do your enrollment. Remember one thing, they have limited seats, so do not expect that everyone can go for the Royal Enfield Odyssey. Now your question is, how did I go? I got invited by this, and there were other vloggers and bloggers who were also invited, and we did so. Well, this was a fantastic experience and I had a ball. You guys already saw my vlogs, and 80% of things I covered in my vlog because I keep it as natural, as in the flow as possible. That's my genre of my vlogs and that's what I've been doing. The second question is, what is the price of this Odyssey? Is the bike included? Is the gear included? Or something like that. In this Royal Enfield Odyssey, the bike has to be yours, or you can rent out a bike from north or anywhere the ride starts from. Alright, this Odyssey happens every year and this was the 14th edition if I am not mistaken. Alright, so you have to enroll yourself, and the fee I'm not too sure, but some people told me it was around 45,000 and plus, that's depending on if your bike is coming by a shipment or so. So this is the whole thing about the costing. Alright, so the next question is, how did we plan our trip? Okay, so well, let's discuss the route. This is the route which we took. Very simple. We started off from Delhi, as you saw, and we went to Chandigarh. From Chandigarh we went to Manali. From Manali we went to Keelong. From Keelong we went to Sarchu. From Sarchu we entered Leh. You can even go directly from Keelong straight to Leh if you can ride that far and handle the terrain. Alright, the terrain is rough and is dangerous, but all you need to do is be patient and be physically, mentally stronger. So the next question is that which bike you should take, what gear you should carry, how should you prepare yourself. Before I discuss all these points, I think the most important point is your fitness level. Yes friends, why do you think Royal Enfield Odyssey also took our test for TMT? It's very important that your heart is conditioned to handle the terrain. So the first most important thing is you should start your cardiovascular workout before your Ladakh ride. Alright, so I would advise all these people who want to ride Ladakh, yes, start doing a little bit of running and walking. Now when I say running, you should do a light jog. Okay, and when you're doing a light jog, you can start with 500 meters, next day you can do a kilometer, then 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers and 4 kilometers. 4 kilometers should be your limit. After the 4 kilometers, again you can do 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer. You can take breaks in a week also. You can run for 4 days in a week. You prep yourself for 1 month. But remember guys, if you are training for muscles, make sure that before the ride you don't train a lot on your muscles, because your muscles will be very stiff. So what I advise is you should stop your training, or you should get a little flexible before your ride. So what I did is, when I started my cardio training 1 week before my ride, I stopped running, I stopped working out, I just did yoga, and I made myself more flexible so that I can be lighter on the motorcycle and enjoy the ride. If you eat in more intervals, you will have a better diet and a good metabolism. That's the most important thing about fitness. So this is just a basic fundamental I thought I'll share with you about the fitness level. Before we get to the motorcycle point, why don't I show you this motorcycle, which is provided by Siddhant. He's my friend, my subscriber, and a guy who's actually going to Ladakh on September 1st. Yeah, so the soap McTavish really rings bells for all the Call of Duty players. Yes, he is also a fan of Call of Duty. And now let's talk about this motorcycle, which is completely ready for his Ladakh ride. And we'll talk about everything in detail, what he's put around the bike, so that it's easier for you guys if you want to load your Himalayan. Yes folks, these are not the original risers. He has installed external risers for 1500 rupees, which is locally sourced. They are clamp mount and they are really rock solid. They make the handlebar 2.5 inches higher. He's also installed a USB charger, which is the basic 350 rupees one. Well, some call it the engine casing, some call it the leg guard, some call it the crash guard. This is what's installed for 2800 rupees, and now we've found out that they are a little more expensive. I just hope he had powder coated it rather than gloss black, but that's fine. This is pretty rock solid. The rear side of the motorcycle does have these pannier frames, which are also very decent. They have an extended bar behind near the mudguard. You guys can see that, so it can be really rock solid. If you're planning any panniers, you can put that, or if you're putting normal dirt sack luggage or something, you can put on it and it can be sturdy. Well, these pannier guards are costed around 3,300 rupees. They are a little expensive, but they come on Allen key bolts with simple fitting, and this is by HD Customs, so pretty decent for the motorcycle. And I think now it's time to demonstrate how to stand on the Himalayan and ride. I am sorry that I'm not taking it on off-road mode to show you guys. Already did that in Ladakh and there was nobody else to shoot me. So I'll just demonstrate how I hustled around the Ladakh terrain, especially sitting on this motorcycle. So the first thing is that when you're sitting on this motorcycle, it's not necessary you have to stand on this motorcycle all the time. But if you are about to stand, this is the correct form to stand on the motorcycle, making sure that your feet are very well grounded on the foot pegs. If you plan to hunch down a little bit, you can do that for flexibility, especially taking the shocks of those polished stones which come initially during the Rohtan Pass. Well, the more sturdy you are, you'll be able to handle the bike properly. The more stiff you become, you might have a straight fall. So make sure your standing form and stance is very flexible. Secondly, if you're doing a downhill and if you plan to stand up because the rocks are really hard, make sure that you duck a little behind rather than completely sitting ahead. So when you duck a little behind and take the bike will be completely in your control, especially near your shoulders and near your chest area. Making sure that when you're using the rear brakes, I always avoid, especially when you're standing on the motorcycle, because it can skid more. The reason is when you're standing on the motorcycle, your pressure is more on the brake and you might press them hard, which could have an accident. So make sure that your foot is away from the brake. If you need it, then only you use it, otherwise you don't use it, and that's the best way to do it. Well, this is just the basic way of standing on this motorcycle. You'll get more practice when you actually go to Ladakh and ride. I just thought I'll share it with you guys. The most important thing which I feel every biker should have, this micro inflator, which Siddhant has installed below his bike. It connects directly to the battery. It costed 850 rupees on Amazon. Well, what it does is this device can actually convert electric power to your air pressure gun, which you will buy to inflate your tires. So this is a very nice device. Also installed the Spyder Lights, which are same on my GT, which is a LED HID system. Along with that, he has these side lights, which you can see are single LED 10 watt bulbs. He initially had the top ones, but he doesn't want to remove it because now that they are already installed, and he's going to use it in Ladakh if he does any kind of night riding. The Nettle Guards costed him for 1500 rupees. They're made of fiber and they have a aluminum plating inside. And as you can see, he has also put some brackets near the visor so that the visor doesn't fall off. Siddhant, all the best for his Ladakh trip. And if I get an opportunity, I might ride with him, you never know. So they are putting their bikes in the train and going to Ladakh. They are taking the bike till Delhi and they are taking the Jammu route. So I wish him all the best. His bike is fully equipped and I hope you guys liked it. Thanks, Siddhant.
You're welcome.
Any tips for the viewers?
Ride safe and ride with Raj.
Ride safe, ride with Raj, and back to the Raj at home. Okay, so now let's talk about the Himalayan. All right, a lot of questions. Himalayan is a controversial bike right now. Everyone's like, is it a good bike? Is it a bad bike? But you guys saw in my vlogs, I had seen so much of criticism about this motorcycle that I actually had very less expectations from this motorcycle. In spite of test riding this motorcycle and reviewing this motorcycle, I was confused that why is it so bad, because everyone who meets me says, oh, why are you riding the Himalayan? You should ride some other bike. And I was like, well, Himalayan's designed for the Himalayas. I'm sure there must be a reason why they have a monoshock in a Royal Enfield, which they never had in their lives. Certain things. And I was like, let's take a ride and let's do this. Secondly, guys, this is not a paid review, alright? This video is not sponsored by Royal Enfield. A lot of people think that I am favoring Royal Enfield for some gains or for some profit and stuff like that. It's not like that. It was not only me, there were other vloggers, bloggers, media, even normal contestants. So there are around like 50 contestants which were also there, who had paid for this trip and come and to ride and have an experience. There were ladies there, there were sisters there were brothers there was everyone there. Now I'm talking about the bike. Well, Himalayan is a decent bike. Yes, I did have few problems which you saw in the vlog. One was the visor, which Siddhant has already fixed it by putting the L brackets, which will hold the visor pretty strong, taking the wind blast, which is a decent move by him. There's also washers which you can put on the nuts so that the nuts are pretty tight and the glass can hold the wind blasting. So, well, these are a few quick fix things you can do to the Royal Enfield Himalayan if you feel like changing certain things. Talking about the tires, the rear tires does skid in Ladakh a lot. So make sure you are not slamming the rear brake the most. If your ratio is 70 to 30, you can even go to 80 to 20 depending on the terrain you're climbing. So there is gravel, there is tarmac, there is cement, there is rocks, there is polished rocks, there are sharp stones. Everything you can get in Ladakh during the ride, and your tires take the most. So make sure you're carrying a puncture kit, which I advise Siddhant also, and he's done this arrangement. Talking about the braking system, the front disc brake worked perfectly fine. The rear also works fine, but I used it less because I knew the terrain is bad. So just make sure you prepare a subconscious mind very strong when you're riding Ladakh. And well, talking about power, it's a little under power because I ride a 535, but it was decent enough. It was a long stroke. You can actually sense the long stroke on a Himalayan. That's the best part. The only problem I face is because it's carbureted, we went like, for example, when I was crossing Moray Plains, the bike would not cross 90. You know, because Moray Plains is a plain plateau, but it is on a high altitude, and due to lack of oxygen, my bike was jerking a lot, and that's obvious. Even during Khardungla, even during Tanglangla, even during certain high altitudes, my bike would lack oxygen for the combustion, and that's why it would give lot of missing. All right, so this happened in the motorcycle. You have to put on higher gear, create a motion, get back to lower gear and do that. So that's the thing Himalayan riders will have to do when they ride Ladakh. But the EFI version is coming soon. That's what I heard about. If that comes, I think this problem will go away soon. Otherwise, the bike has performed pretty well. I did not intentionally service my bike till Khardungla. Alright, so at Sarchu Pass, the Royal Enfield mechanic did come to me and say, hey, do you want to repair your bike or service something? And I said, besides the visor, nothing else. You saw the video, right? And he was like, why? I said, no, I want to see how much can I pull this bike without a service. So basically, I just got an ideology. I mean, thinking about that Himalayan needs, after 1,000 kilometers of a ride, needs a basic service. And that's what all Royal Enfields do. It depends what kind of terrain you're taking. Alright. So in a nutshell, this is what Himalayan experience with me was. Regarding comfort, guys, oh my God, I'm honest. No backaches. No lower backache or my arms or shoulder, nothing had any issues. In fact, on GT sometimes near my thigh, I get a little bit of a cramp on a long ride because the gear shifts are angular. That's the main thing. A lot of people, whom I met said Khardungla, it's overhyped. Nothing there. It's just one highest motorable road in the world. Whatever they say, inside they want to also go there because a sense of achievement happens. How much ever a guy says that, hey, it's not a big deal, it's just one mountain up and people go there and do hoo-ha. But if you are riding there, you reach Khardungla top, you automatically sense that you have achieved something because you're on the highest motorable road in the world. I wanted to achieve it, that's why I went there, right? I wouldn't lose that opportunity for any sake because I wanted to go to Khardungla and see what's it all about. Yes, I did not find any monuments there or an Indian flag or anything as such there, but I felt that I achieved something because I'm the highest motorable road in the world. So that makes you feel a little good that you did something. You know, you always like to get rewarded of something what you do, right? For example, vlogs. When I do these vlogs and if you guys comment and you'll understand my vision, I feel happy that I've achieved something that I could pass on this message to you guys, and that's what matters the most to me. Well, this is what I feel the myth about a lot of people talking about Khardungla. It's overhyped. It is commercialized because it is a very known place. Only known places will get commercialized. Yes, we don't like extra crowd, but we are part of the crowd, right? We are also human beings. So yes, this is commercialized. Don't expect a lot, but sense of achievement is at 100% mark when you reach there because you feel proud. You'll see, I was also screaming there, jumping around like a monkey because I was very happy that I've reached some destination where I wanted to, you know. Otherwise, the whole world is an open road. You can go anywhere you want and achieve something. So well, this is the myth about that. Now talking about, a lot of people asked me that a lot of riders fall down, a lot of riders do not fall down. About me, I didn't even crash once. Well, that does not make me a best rider in the world. It does not. Maybe I'll crash next time when I'll go for the trip, or maybe next to that. Anybody in Ladakh can crash. It's okay. Alright. If you crash at a slower speed, it's okay. You'll just have a fall and you'll get up. It is difficult, but you have to recover that. You have to accept that. That's a part and parcel of biking. You signed up to ride a bike. You have to sign up that you will crash. The chances of a crash on a motorcycle is far more than compared to a four-wheeler, right? That's why. But we still ride because we get the adrenaline rush in a motorcycle. So I feel crashing on a motorcycle in Khardungla is a very basic thing, so don't expect that you'll never crash or something like that. There are some riders who crash more than 3-4 times, and the reason is they don't want to learn because they feel they know everything. The biggest thing to control in Ladakh for water crossing is the clutch and the acceleration ratio. A lot of people go in the water straight up, rev the engine completely and release the clutch, or they don't release the clutch. Either they don't release the clutch or they just release it like that and the bike goes in the air, or if they don't and then they hold it back, the handle goes tilt and they crash in the water. While doing a water crossing, my advice to you guys is make sure you first stop before the water crossing. Watch the water flow, watch the current, let 2 or 3 riders go ahead who are expert or who want to go ahead before you. Watch them, see their tires, how they are going in the water, what is the track. In your mind, make a track that this is the route I'll follow, because if I follow this guy's bike, it didn't go much in the water. That's pretty nice. People who are guiding you there from the military, alright, they are actually without shoes in the water, ice cold water, and you are worrying about your your foot to go in the water when you're sitting on a motorcycle. They are helping more than 500 bikes a day and doing that because they are there to help us. You know, if they are doing such a good thing, make sure nothing will happen. It's just that when we see the visuals, alright, when you see the water flow and when you see there's a cliff, you get scared automatically that, oh my god, I'll be washed away. But it won't happen if you really plan it well. Slowly create motion and leave the clutch and pass the hurdle. Make sure your handle is not very stiff that it just goes like that and you'll fall. So keep it hard, but make sure there is a little flexibility to take the basic rocks, but don't make it too soft that it can just go here and there dancing. So make sure you're holding the handlebar pretty strong, and when you're going, do not. I saw a lot of people revving like next level, continuously. You don't need to. You just create motion and just cross the crossing as a normal road. They are just rocks. There is no water crossing which is above waist level that your bike will completely be inside and you can't cross. They will make a bridge for that, obviously. These are doable crossings, and that's why people are doing for years, and we are also doing the same. So this is why we are there, to enjoy the water crossing, to enjoy the rough terrain, to enjoy the adventure. Otherwise, don't go for it. If you're gonna complain that Ladakh is very rough, has a lot of bad terrain, don't sign up for Ladakh. Go normally, go do Kashmir to Kanyakumari, a straight highway road. Enjoy that. That's also fun and adventurous. So it completely depends what you want to do. When you do Ladakh, you have a sense of achievement that I did it, and that's why everyone's like, yeah, I've done Ladakh. But how much ever you try to say it's not a big deal, it is a big deal. Okay, certain things about motorcycle, if you don't know, you can always ask someone. There are plenty of people who will help you. The best thing I saw in Ladakh is the brotherhood. Every biker is your friend. Every biker has the same dream, and that's the reason he's there. Every biker, trust me, if he's on a scooty or an Avenger or on a Pulsar or a Bullet, everyone's the same. There is a big chemistry. You can stop anyone if you are out of fuel. You can stop anyone to help you with something, and they will help you. And that's what I liked about Ladakh, because the brotherhood is amazing, and that's how it should be. So these things really matter, because people who are watching this, trust me, Ladakh is doable. All right, you have to remove your fear out. Yes, it is rough. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's like going to, Gujarat and coming back, or Rajasthan and coming back, and Delhi. It is tough. But we chose that. We want to do it. We want to achieve it. It's fun. It's adrenaline if you see it that way. Okay. So once you have checked out in your Leh hotel, you have already offloaded your baggage and your luggage and everything. You've had proper sleep in the night. Next morning you get up and say, hey, let's go to Khardungla, which is pretty nice. It is just 40 kilometers from Leh city. Okay, which is pretty decent. You can go and do that, and you like 40 kilometers easy. It's not. Initial 15 minutes to 20 minutes of ride is very smooth. Then comes the rough terrain. It's really mucky, slush, or whatever you call it. You saw my video how it was. You will find some snow also on both sides of the hill, which is a beautiful thing. But make sure you're carrying a lot of Snicker bars and some water with you, because you will not get anything much till you reach Khardungla top. I feel it's very easy to achieve Khardungla top is because you already had a decent sleep. I mentioned this in my vlog too. And when you're going uphill, you don't have any luggage and all. You don't have any rush to come back, even if you're stuck. The only problem is the traffic jam. All right, there are plenty of cars, more than bikes. You'll see cars on Khardungla top. You will see huge jams. You'll see 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers of jam. Military is helping them to pass, and that's the major thing. Also, the locals who are driving these tourist vehicles are not pretty biker friendly. Okay, let me put that again. They're not very biker friendly. So don't think that we'll get a left passage or a right passage and we'll go. There might be situations that the driver might get down and stop you and say, we are not letting you go till all the cars pass by, and you'll have to respect that because they are locals and there is military also there. So this is a very important point. If you are planning to do Khardungla from Leh, expect anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours of distance going and coming. We did it in 4 hours, though we got traffic, but we did well and it was decent enough. So this was all about Khardungla top, which was our final destination. So the most important topic now I'll talk about is the riding gear, alright, and your luggage system. Riding gear, alright, make sure you have the best jacket with the best winter lining and the best rain lining, because there'll be a lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of water and a lot of wind. So obviously I was very fortunate to get the Kaza jacket, which I reviewed and I showed you guys. It has done wonders for me, but there are a lot of other brands also which you guys can go for and which will hold that. Do not wear a sports bike jacket for Ladakh trip. It will not help you that much. Try to get an all-season jacket which is very helpful and very comfortable for your wear. Besides that, guys, don't try to wear jeans for your Ladakh ride. Make sure you're wearing riding pants or some kind of cargos or decent pants which can withhold the cold and the rough terrain. So I was very happy that I was wearing the Crampster pants, which I will do a separate video. It's quite dirty right now, so I put it for a wash. The Crampster pants did wonders. Not a drop of water went inside, not a drop of snow went inside. I could not even feel cold on my legs, which was always my complaint whenever I am riding in cold regions. So the gloves did wonders too. Make sure you either wear your gloves and you have very nice warm inside knit gloves to wear over your gloves, or you buy straight gloves which have wool in it. So whenever I'm gonna go north now or do uphill, and if it's gonna be cold, I'm gonna carry the Royal Enfield gloves specially along with my basic gloves so that I can change them whenever I want. And these things are very important because if you are comfortable, then you can ride further. If you are not comfortable, you will not ride further and you will have a bad trip. A lot of riders had a bad trip. They were complaining about the road, they were complaining about the bike, they were complaining about the gear. But it's their duty to make sure all three are in order. If all three are in good order and good shape, you'll have a very good ride because in the end, you're there for the scenic view, to have adrenaline rush, ride in those terrains and enjoy the beauty. Okay guys, now let's talk about my riding boots. All right, I am quite surprised that these boots, all right, really performed well. I thought, I know they're all weather woodlands. I really like these boots, but I did not expect them to take Ladakh terrain, especially the sharp rocks, which even slit my hand. But I don't know, these boots are really good. Yes, they are anti-microfiber. That was proven, the anti-microfiber, because whenever they were wet, next morning they were dry as hell. I used to keep them in the sun definitely, but the leather is so stiff and nice and so strong that I think they could take everything well. I think they can even take a snake bite. I have a feeling. It's such a tough leather. So yes, make sure that you have good riding boots. These are not actually riding boots. They are rough terrain all weather boots, but I use them for my every time riding. You guys already know about that. But there are other brands like Caterpillar, there is brands like Quecha, which is the Decathlon brand, and there's a sale going on in Decathlon, so you can check out the riding boots option. But make sure you wear decent boots. Make sure you wash your socks whenever they are wet and hang them in the sun. Make sure you put your shoes in the sun. Make sure you put your jacket in the sun for any bacteria or anything as such. Well, this was all about the gear. I'm not going to talk about the helmet because I've done a lot of helmet reviews, so you all already know that a full face, fully protected helmet is very important. Guys, at high altitude, do not wear your mask. You'll get a little suffocating feeling because the oxygen level is low. So make sure at that time you put your mask near your neck area. Do not keep it on your face. But when you're walking in the hills and if it's snowing, you can put your mask up so that your own carbon dioxide can create the warmth in your breath, and you can be safe and good, so you won't catch cold that much. All right. Now let's talk about the most important thing is about layering yourself. All right, a lot of people ask me that how to layer yourself. Is the lining enough? I'll be honest, I was just wearing a basic t-shirt like this. This is 100% cotton. I do not wear flexi or climate cool t-shirts, because they do dry up quickly, but they stink the most. I can't bear that ever on myself. So I always wear 100% cotton t-shirt, or I wear a knitwear above it and then wear a lining and a jacket. But during this trip, I was just wearing a t-shirt, not even my thermals. I have not used my thermals this time, guys, and you saw the video. So I think the jacket lining and the jacket is the most important. That's like your uniform. You wear that on, you are ride mode on. All right, so that's what you should do, and I think that'll really protect you. Okay, so now let's talk about luggage system. All right, a lot of people are confused which bag they should carry. I would say that if you have a saddle bag for a motorcycle, it's one of the best, because you never know, you might help one of your friend for pillion. In a claw bag, what happens is when you put the claw, you might not be able to put a pillion behind you on emergency basis. So I feel your rear seat should be always empty, or maybe with your small bag, which you can always carry on as a backpack. In my case, I was fortunate that my luggage was in the service vehicle, and the other bag was on a bungee cord. Now that was a backpack, so if I wanted, I could have removed it, wore it on my shoulder and made someone sit on my bike also for emergency. If you're not planning to take any motorcycle luggage system for your motorcycle, then you can even take a big duffel bag and do bungee cords. I saw a lot of riders successfully doing that, and then they put talpatri or plastic over it so that the reins can protect. It really works. Make sure you all carry ample of bungee cords, even a net bungee or a basic bungee cord. Well, this was all about the Ladakh preparation, which I did it in a summarized way for you guys. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have further more questions, this is kind of a Q&A, so you can send those questions in my comment below and I'll try my best to answer them. And if you are planning to ride Ladakh or you've done it, please DM me your photographs, because I'm collecting these photographs of people riding to Ladakh, and I have a nice album of it, of all my subscribers who have done Ladakh, and they are in my collection. So sounds pretty cool, looks even nice. I like to collect them. So if you have any pictures, please DM me on my Instagram handle. You guys already know that. And as usual, eat well, sleep well, be good. Signing off. Ride with Raj.